Hey everybody, it's Charlie from Daily Motor, and today we've got an audio system demo of the 2021 Mercedes-AMG GLS 63. Now this is not rocking the highest Burmester audio system, not the 3D system that we featured in the GLS 580, but rather this is the 13 speaker bass Burmester system with 590 watts and a little bit more of a simple audio system experience. So this is going to be an in-depth sound system review. We're going to go around, take a look at all the speaker locations, listen to some sample tracks, get on the road, listen to those tracks while we're moving. I'll give you my thoughts at the end. We've got Nathan here testing out the system for us as well. We did a full review on this car earlier on, so the link to that will be in the description. Had a good time reviewing this crazy machine. Before we get started, let's hop out and take a look at what we're dealing with here. This is brand new model for 2021, finally letting the monsters over at AMG have their way with the GLS platform. You can hear the fans buzzing along in here as it's trying to keep this 4-liter, 605 horsepower twin-turbo V8 engine cooled down. We've got it actually in off-road mode now, kind of stancing it up a little bit, making it look cool here in this beautiful evening. So as I said, if you want to see more on this car, we've got a full review, we've got a highway real-world fuel economy test, and we also have reviews from our GLS 580 that Nathan helped with before as well. Let's go and take a look at speaker grill locations. We should have 13 around here in the car. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hopping in back, we see 6, 7. Fold these seats up, takes a little bit of time. I see 8, 9, and then I bet you we gotta wait for the seat to come back into place. But there's probably some subwoofers. I think there are 2 woofers in the back, which would put us at 10, 11, and some of those speaker grills are probably hiding more than one speaker. So here's a speaker right here, and then, like I said, there are probably some more hiding under other speaker grills. Now we always do these audio system tests with uncompressed, lossless WAV audio files on a USB drive plugged directly into the audio system, and 2 high-quality binaural microphones in both of my ears, giving you the most realistic audio experience on YouTube. We also always do these tests with their sound settings set to the factory default. So as you can see here, only 3 different settings in the bass Burmester. We've got bass, mid-range, treble. There's also your standard balance and fader, front, rear, left, right. You also have 2 sound focus modes here. So you can focus all of the sounds in the whole car, or you can actually click on the front seats or the rear. Keep that on all. You've also got 2 profiles, pure and surround. Now if you remember in the 3D system we had in the GLS 580, there were a lot more settings. In this car it's much simpler. So we'll listen with pure for now, but we will sample the surround a bit later on. And then you have automatic adjustment for the volume. We will go through and sample the equalizers now. So decent range of adjustment, but definitely nowhere near the extent of the 580 system. Now for controls here, you can see you can touch this large screen, but you can also use this trackpad here to cycle through all of your different adjustments. You can click on it, go to the settings and everything. You can also do all those adjustments from this little trackpad on the steering wheel. So if you're driving, keep your hands on the steering wheel and move them around. And even go back, go home, everything like that. For adjusting the volume, you've got a nice volume knob here on the steering wheel, and then also a volume knob down here. What I like about these in the Mercedes is they feel nice. They've got good detense clicks to them. You can hear if I turn the music down, listen to that nice clicking. Same thing on the wheel. And you also have good grip on there. I prefer little rotor knobs like this to buttons because you can quickly turn things up or down. For track selection, this was something that I was not made aware of in the GLS 580, but I have since learned that you can just swipe back and forth on the trackpad right here to change tracks. But I was confused because there are multiple ways to do it. You can also click right there, and that brings up a little track thing, and then you can choose back or forth. You can go out of that, you can click back or forth here. You can also scroll up there with the touch pad and click on those, and it moves you around. And you can also do those here with the steering wheel. My only gripe is if you're in a different menu, say you're on the map, and you want to change audio tracks, how do you do that here from the steering wheel? Maybe there's a way to do it, but I haven't exactly figured it out without even just going home and then going over to, come on. That's the thing, if your hands are sweaty at all, these don't work super well. Then going down to media and then clicking on the track next button. All right, in terms of audio inputs, in the GLS 63, you have your standard AM, FM, Sirius XM satellite radio, Bluetooth with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto support, and many USB-C ports all around the vehicle. So, what does that mean you're missing? Well, you don't have a 3.5mm auxiliary input jack, and you also don't have any sort of disc player, no CDs or DVDs. Not too surprising for a 2021 car here, but missing nonetheless. All right, let us get on the road. So a few weird things happening in that track. Let's actually restart it right here. I'll talk you through it a little bit. Right when the bass guitar comes in, you'll notice the high-end guitar gets much quieter, and I don't exactly know why. That's not something that typically happens. I want to try, I'm going to go in and turn off the automatic adjustment and see if that changes anything. Try that again. Ah, now you see right there, that didn't do that. So I guess automatic adjustment must actually have something to do with the songs that you're listening to and how they sound. In fact, maybe this is just bias, but I feel like it sounds a little bit better this second time around with this off. It sounds a little more pure. To another one, and we'll leave that automatic adjustment off, and partway through this song I will also turn on the surround mode. So this song is a great bass test, so I will turn the bass all the way up for you savages. So a decent amount of bass here in the 13-speaker Burmester system, but not the best I've heard. Definitely not nearly as strong as the Mark Levinson. Let's turn bass back down, and let's turn sound profiles to surround. So I'm not sure how much you'll be able to pick up on this from the binaural microphones, but the music just seems a little bit more holistic. It really just sounds like the sound's coming from the back of the car a little bit more. We'll listen to one more track with that on. We'll turn it off partway through the drop here. This also gives you guys a chance to see the cool ambient lighting in the GLS. Whoops. See, guys, that's a perfect example right there of how much this system can be a pain in the butt. Because I was just trying to swipe down and get into the audio settings here, but I accidentally swiped a little bit to the right and that changed songs. So now I gotta go back here, restart my music. That could be fixed by touching it like a touchscreen, but it's a shame when other manufacturers have a much easier to use rotary knob. So I've got to say, the surround sound does kind of make a more of a enjoyable experience for music like this. But listening to more dynamic rock or metal or symphonic type music, pure is the way to go. It just sounds a little more honest. So if I were giving a rating here to the 13-speaker Burmester audio system and the GLS 63, I'd be giving it about an 8. It's really not that far of a step down from the 26-speaker absurd 3D system that we tested in the GLS 580. In some ways, it's actually nicer. It's simpler to use. There are less weird, showy, look at me, crazy sound mode options on there. It's a little more honest of a sound, but it is lacking a little bit of the holisticness and the power of those. It's also lacking a bit of the power and satisfaction of the top-level Volvo and Lexus systems that we've tested before. And as you saw, there's just a bit of frustration and a strong learning curve for this infotainment system. Once you do learn it, it can be fairly useful, but there are always frustrations to be had with it. So hope you guys were able to get a good experience for it. Nathan, do you have any final impressions on the system?
I mean, it sounds good to me. I don't have the same, I guess, diverse experience of from the different vehicles. So to me, it sounds absolutely amazing.
Right. It is. I shouldn't discredit. It is quite a very good system in terms of just sound quality alone. We're going to talk a little bit more, so we'll get one more track on here. Let's do our good old friend Illuminate.
I guess I could say that I was expecting a little bit more from the bass.
Yep.
Turned it all the way up.
Exactly. The bass doesn't really thump in your chest the way some other systems do. And in terms of holistically audio quality, this is getting up there near a 9, but it just gets brought down by its lack of an aux port, a lack of a disc player, and its frustration of use. So I hope you guys were able to get a good impression for the system here. Check out our other videos here on the GLS 63 and the GLS 580. And we'll see you on the next one. I'm Charlie and Nathan from Daily Motor. And as always, drive on.